Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Travis here. I recently sent out an email to my email list and I said, hey, let's do a little Ask Me Anything. Send me some of your questions around faith, finances, money, and increase. I want to know what's holding you up, where you're getting stuck. I want to help you guys win. So I've got a couple of them here. And in this one, this is actually great. All right, let me read you the email. Any help on how to actually make money would be so helpful. My husband is a pastor of a small church. So I've always had some side hustles to help make ends meet. But one part-time job ended, then a business closed after COVID, and trying to get into network marketing and get something up and running. It's just not working yet. Would appreciate any help, tips, suggestions. We're really strapped right now. I dream of being financially secure, debt-free, mortgage-free, helping family, giving hugely to charities we're passionate about, and having some hope of retirement, which is looming. All right, so here is this woman, and my heart goes out. And I so appreciate the transparency, the honesty, the realness. Thank you. All right. She's in a spot that's common, very common. Now, it is a bummer, to be honest with you, when I hear things like, my husband's a pastor of a small church, so money is tight. It shouldn't be. We do this a lot. We associate Christianity, we associate being a pastor, a minister with poverty, being broke, money's tight, when honestly, you should be flourishing and thriving. Psalms 92:13 says, those who are planted in the house of the Lord will flourish in the courts of the God. We should be flourishing. God takes pleasure in the prosperity of his people, right? Psalms 35. And so my heart hurts that she has to go and have a side job. I want to help you with that because a side hustle is available to anybody. We can call it things like a 6th-day project. There's some scriptures, I believe it's in Leviticus, where it talks about gathering enough up on the 6th day, using that extra time to make increase so that you can take time off in the future. I'll do another training on that, I'm sure. Inside of my Premier programs, we do teach a lot of different ways to make money online specifically. But what I want to hit you with today, again, I hear you. I've heard the story many, many times. It's not great, but I want you to keep your mind on the scripture for financial increase. Keep your faith built high for increase. That God not only meets your needs, but he gives you more than that. Go check out 2 Corinthians 9:8. It says God's going to make all grace, favor, and earthly blessing come to you in abundance so that all your needs will be met and you'll have plenty left over to give to every good work. That's what she's describing. She's like, I want the 2 Corinthians 9 life. So what we do is we start to confess. I want you to dive into 2 Corinthians 9. I like it in the Amplified Classic. It pulls out some really cool stuff. And I made that first person. I've spoken out that scripture in first person for years and years and years, building my faith on it, developing my faith for finances and for increase. All right, so I want you to do that first. Now, the fastest way, I believe, if you want to make a new income, I want to pull something out of the scripture here found in 2 Kings 4. This is the story of Elisha, the prophet, and the widow woman who had the oil. Listen to this. There's a couple things that people aren't really noticing and seeing in here on what's happening. And I think it's why Christians are being broke. It's because they're not applying all the principles found here. So a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets cried out to Elisha saying, your servant, my husband, is dead. And you know that your servant respected and feared the Lord. The creditor is coming to take my 2 sons away to be a slave. So Elisha, the prophet, said to her, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house? And she said, your maidservant has nothing in the house but a jar of oil. Then he said, go borrow vessels from everywhere, all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. Get a lot. And when you have come in, shut the door behind you and your sons, then pour it into all the vessels and set aside the full ones. Pour that oil into all those vessels. All right. Then he says, so she went out from him, shut the door behind her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. Now it came to pass, when the vessels were full, she said to the son, bring me another vessel. And he said, there is not another vessel. So the oil stopped. Then she came and told the man of God and he said to her, go sell the oil and pay your debt, and you and your sons will live on the rest. So a couple things real quick. He started with this. He says, what shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house? Okay, so you're watching this, you're listening to this. I'm asking you, what do you have in your house? What do you have in your hand? Everybody has something in their house or in their hand. Then he says, go borrow vessels from everywhere. So she had to like go knock on doors. Like she had to go ask stuff. Like she had to go kind of be bold, right? I got to go do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. It would be kind of weird to go ask all of my neighbors for all of their, even if I in the natural went to all my neighbors in this neighborhood and was like, hey, I need all your empty jars. I need all your pots and your pans. Like that's kind of a hard ask. Like she had to go do something brave, right? Something bold, something different, something out of her comfort zone. This just to prepare you. This is how God will work a lot of times. You're going to have to do something like this, okay? Then he says, bring them in, shut the door behind you, and start pouring what you have into these vessels, into these pots and pans. Start pouring what you have, which was the oil. Then he said this to her, and this is where a lot of Christians miss it. They think that that's it. Like God's just going to do this miracle and pour out money into your wallet. No, started with something she had. She had to go do something kind of scary, knock on a bunch of doors. Then the prophet said this, now that you have the oil, go and sell it. She had to go to the marketplace. She had to go put it on Craigslist. She had to go put it on Facebook Marketplace. She had to go put it on eBay. She had to go set up a stand on her driveway, like a lemonade stand with some signs, and said, come buy my oil, $5. She had to go sell it. So you don't have to be an entrepreneur here. She wasn't an entrepreneur. But she had to go sell that which was in her hand. She had to go do something. She had to go put her hand to something. God added his super to her natural. Then she had to go sell it. And this is a big part that Christians miss. They're like, why hasn't anything happened for me? I'm like, have you gone and sold it? Well, no. This is how money flows. Money flows to you through an exchange, a value exchange. She had value, which was the oil. People exchanged money for that value. And here's, if you want to get super simple with it, all you're doing is providing value that somebody thinks is more valuable than the money that they're giving you. So if they give you $100, I'm selling them something they feel is worth more than $100. I will gladly pay you $100 for that. Thank you. She's selling the oil. I don't know how much it costs. I'll gladly pay you $5 for that jar of oil because to them, it's worth much more than $5. That's just how you make a good deal. Like that's what people want. It's easy. Okay. What does that look like in real life? What do you have in your hand? You're watching this. You've got something in your hand. Do you play? I'm talking specifically to this woman who wrote in. Do you play in the worship band at this church? Do you know how to play piano? Can you go teach piano lessons, guitar lessons, singing lessons? Maybe you're great at organizing the finances for the church. Can you help other churches and other pastors or pastors' wives organize the finances for their church? Are you into fitness? Maybe you can go start a health and fitness program for your church. I had a friend who did that. It was awesome. He wanted to change the health of his church, and he was into fitness. So he started a fitness program for the congregation, and it was paid. This is cool. This is like cool stuff, guys. I'm exchanging what you already have. Do you speak Spanish? Can you go do Spanish lessons? Like what? Are you great at a sport? Can you do like private lessons for soccer? There's a guy that I see as I drive up my street. He always is doing private lessons for somebody with soccer. He's always got people coming over and he's teaching them one-on-one, like premier coaching stuff because he's great at it. He's got that in his hand. What do you have in your hand? This is the fastest way. Problem is, we're not doing the last step that the prophet told the widow woman. Now go and sell it and pay your debt, and you and your kids will live off the rest. So it must have been pretty lucrative if her and her kids can live off the rest of the profits. That's pretty cool right there. She obeyed and made enough money to basically retire. I'll take that. I like that, right? That's the fastest way. What do you got in your hand? What do you already know? What can you already do? You probably just haven't been valuing it. Oh, no one would pay for that. Yes, people will pay for that. They'll pay for speed. They'll pay for mentoring, tutoring, coaching, quick results. Anything that you've done, you don't have to be an expert. You just need to have a little bit more results than somebody else. If you're 10% better or have 10% better results than somebody, you know what else? Are you good at karate? Did you do karate lessons? Could you become a personal trainer? Like, Could you teach? Is there something you could teach? Do you have a skill set in this certain areas? Like I said, and I know people who organize closets and garages. Are you great at organizing your garage? You got all the cool stuff hanging on the walls and the shelves, stuff. Man, go knock on some doors and organize your neighbor's garage. If somebody came and offered that to me, I would pay for that. That sounds awesome. If you come organize my garage, I'll gladly pay you about whatever you ask for. If it can make it look all cool and hang the bikes on the walls and put some shelves up and do all this cool things so there's nothing on the floor of my garage, it's all up, that would be great. I would like that. What a value. Can you wash cars? Can you detail cars? I've told this story too. And again, I go deeper in this in my premier programs, but there was somebody, our neighborhood has a Facebook page just for this neighborhood. You have to live here to be on the Facebook group. It's a Facebook group. And one person posted and he said, hey, I've got a car detailing business. Anybody want me to wash their car, detail it while they're at work? I've got some room. 34 people said yes. 34 people said I'll do it. So think about it like this. If 34 people said yes, let's say he charges $150, that's $5,100 he just made off one Facebook post. Could you do a Facebook post and just say, I have a service, I'm going to sell it? This isn't complicated, guys. We're just not doing these steps. This is the equivalent of him knocking on doors, right? He had to go do something kind of bold and brave and make this post. He posted a before and after, so he posted like this really dirty car, and then it was really shiny and clean right after it. It made you want that too. I was like, that looks awesome. Now think about this. He just made $5,100 with one Facebook post. Now, imagine if he got, it was 34, so imagine if he got half 17 of those people to do a monthly retainer and say, hey, I'll give you a discount for $125. I'll come by once a month and make sure your car is always looking great inside and out. So if he did that, he just put himself on a $2,125 a month retainer. So now he's got $2,100 a month locked in from one Facebook post. And that's just if half join his retainer program. Now, what if he just goes and does this exact same thing to, let's say, 4 other neighborhoods? Now he's making $8,500 a month from 4 Facebook posts. See how making money is not hard? You got to be bold. You got to take some new actions you haven't been taking. You can't be afraid. But do you think it'd be worth pushing past that fear to make $8,500 a month? Yeah, that's 6 figures. You're at 100K. And you didn't go to college. And you didn't do it the hard way. And you could actually just hire a team so that you don't have to actually watch the cars yourself. Now your job is to go make these posts in different Facebook groups. And then you hire someone else to do that for you too. It's all simple. God made success simple. I love you guys. The fastest way to increase your income, have a side hustle, 6-day project, make some money on the side, increase your income, expand your margin, is to look at and say, what do I have in my house? Then go knock on some doors, make some Facebook posts, put some stuff on eBay, and go sell it. Exchange the value you have for money. Everybody's got something. And if you're super struggling with it, just ask God, Lord, what do I have? What's my strategy? What should I sell? What should I do? How can I help people? You might even be great at baking. I know somebody who's great at baking, and they just cater everybody's birthdays and parties and events that they have, and it's just in your church. And that makes a great side income. Just do it in your church, right there. But you're going to have to follow the steps that the widow woman followed. What do you have in your hand? Knock on some doors, then go sell it. All right. Love you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Please, it helps push this out to more people on the YouTube and podcast algorithms. Make sure you like it. Like I said, hit the notification bell. I got great stuff coming out almost daily. I want to help you win. If you haven't already, head over to the increasechallenge.com. You'll get 5 days of increased coaching with me where you'll learn this stuff more in depth and step by step. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.